Government-to-person payment schemes present a great opportunity to provide financial services to unbanked beneficiaries by channeling a consistent flow of money into their banking accounts. An efficient way to do so is via branchless banking, enabling greater outreach by sidestepping the possible leakage points. India is one of the front runners along with Brazil, Mexico, South Africa and Colombia that is involved in undertaking G2P payments. The G2P sector in India has seen much advancement, from the implementation of electronic benefit transfers to the establishment of a clear vision to have a unified payment infrastructure linked to biometric Aadhaar number. Indian government has shown a clear indication that they are moving towards having electronically transferred payments. The largest flow of G2P payment funds comes from the traditional welfare schemes. Majority of these include the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, in short MNREGS, which is the 100-day minimum work program. Other schemes include social security pensions benefiting the old, the widow and the differently abled. There are also scholarships that are given to school-going children which are also part of these welfare schemes. There are several stakeholders in the G2P payment process in India. Central government ministries manage a particular scheme. The mandate, design and the strategic direction of these programs happens at the central level and are then delegated to the state government for implementation. Central government also pays a part of scheme's budget to state government for implementation, also covering administrative costs. State governments exercise a significant control in the implementation of these welfare schemes. They work with banks and compensate them for working in the payment delivery process. Banks in turn engage BCNMs to process cash withdrawals who have CSPs in the field who actually make the cash payment to the last mile. There are several BCNMs who directly manage the CSPs. Remuneration flows down from the value chain, which starts from banks to BCNMs to CSPs. The payment process across these stakeholders looks structured and integrated. The interactions, however, are not smooth and are acting as bottlenecks for further advancement. Though central government pays the state a part of scheme's budget for covering administrative costs as well as for implementation, it is ultimately up to the state to decide the payout amounts for partner banks. Not all states compensate the banks for their work. There is a common belief that providing these services and payments is a public service obligation to the banks. As a result, banks do not adequately compensate the BCNMs, who in turn are not able to actively compensate the CSPs. Many CSPs remain unpaid for several months and are yet in business. This is because the self-perceived role of an agent implies having connection with the outside world. This includes interaction with the government officials, interaction with the BCNM staff and interaction with the fellow villagers. The sense of fulfillment for these agents comes from working with the fellow villagers and giving their help to the community, but not only from financial earnings. However, the success of BC model depends on giving adequate compensation to the CSPs. According to a CGAP overview report, the emphasis of state government so far has been ensured that the entitlements reach the right beneficiary in a timely manner through a BC-led channel. The payments made by banks to the BCs could cover their operational costs, but the agent remuneration is suffering. To make the agent business case sustainable, government must channelize its efforts in creative conducive environment. The disorder surrounding the stakeholders needs to be eradicated by the creation of an ecosystem in which the compensation gaps are bridged. Some of these include bringing in more clarity about the payment structure and the payouts that happens to BCNMs and the CSPs. Also, G2P payments only guarantee a certain number of transactions. Income from G2P payments that may happen once or twice a month depending on the scheme does not guarantee agents' income. Going ahead, to make an agent's income sustainable, agents need to be empowered to provide other financial services. An exclusive G2P agent needs to be properly trained, for which banks, PCNMs and the governments must collaborate to create a vibrant financial inclusion.